StationeryPal very kindly reached out to me and offered to send me another box full of goodies, which I was so insanely excited for because my last box of StationeryPal items was definitely the most exciting thing I've ever opened. Like any kind of package I've ever opened. If you watched my last video, you heard me scream about it because it's such an enjoyable unboxing experience. They put so much love and care into their actual packaging and making sure the person who receives the items has a really good time opening the box. It's just very, very, very enjoyable. So I was super excited to browse their site and see all the things that they have again, because last time I worked with StationeryPal, I most definitely did go through every single category of their website and look at each individual item, because especially with stationery, I derive so much enjoyment from stationery shopping. It is so much fun to just go to like a stationery website like StationeryPal and just see everything that there is to see, because like, especially with like stickers and washi tapes and pens, like there's so many variations to everything and there's so many options out there. So like anytime I've ever ordered from Jet Pens or anytime I've ever ordered stationery off of AliExpress, it takes me a really long time to actually decide on what I want to order, because there's just so many good options out there and I want to make sure I'm getting pretty much everything that I prioritize, not necessarily everything I want because that would be very expensive, but I was very excited about this package. It was so much fun going through their site again and picking out a selection of products. There's so many things to choose from, and it really was a back and forth about figuring out which items I prioritized more over the others. So it was a little experience, but I'm so happy with everything that I received. And same as my last box, they do include a couple of little freebie items alongside your order. One of those items was this really cute bear cupcake acrylic clip, which I absolutely adore acrylic clips. I only recently found out that they were a thing, but I think they're such a fun way to like spice up a binder clip and make something that's really, really cute. I've actually been kind of interested in getting my own acrylic clips made. I'd have to go through like a manufacturer on Alibaba or something, but I really like the aesthetic of acrylic clips, so I was very excited to get another one in this box because I just think they're really cute. As far as the products I definitely got a very mixed selection of things. I ended up getting a bunch of pens and markers for actually drawing. I went through and I actually picked up the watercolor paper that StationeryPal offers this time. Last time I was thinking about it, but I was like, I'm not really sure if I want to prioritize that or if I'd rather get a bunch of different kinds of pens. So this time I actually went through and ordered a lot of the stuff that I wanted last time but wasn't able to get, which was very, very exciting. Also, same as before with my last StationeryPal video, if you're interested in any of the products that I received, I'm definitely having their names on the video, as you can see, and alongside that, in chronological order of when I actually took them out of the box, I'll have links in the description box below for each individual product. That way, in case you guys are interested in anything, you can peek down there and find it. And again, the links that are going to be below for StationeryPal are going to be affiliate links, which just means if you decide to purchase anything from the links below, I'll get a small commission at no extra cost to you. This time around with the StationeryPal box, I definitely got a wider variety of different things. However, I mainly stuck to pens and markers still, just because in getting this box, I knew I wanted to get supplies that I could make art with and draw with. So that was kind of the main focus. I ended up picking up a lot of the Tombow ABT Pro markers, which is Tombow's version of alcohol markers. Honestly, I don't know why I keep getting these with StationeryPal, because Tombow's alcohol markers, they're really pretty, and I do appreciate the difference that they have between other alcohol markers, because other brands of alcohol markers tend to try to mimic Copics just in the physical appearance. It always tends to be a very similar barrel and like just aesthetic as a whole. So I do appreciate how Tombow stuck to their water-based pens and kept it in that kind of appearance. However, out of all the alcohol markers I've tried, Tombow alcohol markers have to be kind of lower on that list because they put out ink so slowly and they're kind of a pain in the butt. Like, first and foremost, because of how small the barrel is, it would not surprise me in any way, shape, and form if they had significantly less ink than other alcohol markers. And when you're actually working with them, if you're coloring in a large section, they run out of ink in the nib really quickly and you kind of have to wait for it to refill the nib with ink, and it's it's just kind of a pain in the butt. So I have a bunch of these because I also did get some of these alcohol markers last time I worked with StationeryPal, and I just decided to get more, so I had a bigger color selection. I guess it's just so I have like alcohol markers that are more like low stress to use, and it's also nice working with like a limited palette. As far as the Tombow markers goes, I think I have like a dozen of them now, so most of them I tended to grab from like similar color families so they wouldn't be like too explorative throughout every single color, because I'd much rather have a selection of colors that fits in like one color palette where I'll have different shades of a different specific tone. So that's kind of what I stuck with for the alcohol markers. Again, I'm not really sure why I ended up getting more because they are some of my least favorite alcohol markers, but that didn't stop me from getting a lot more. And by no means are they like bad quality of alcohol marker when you're actually using them to fill in a small section, or you're just working with like the chisel nib or the brush nib to do one stroke versus working fast with the markers. I think they are really nice quality. Like, they have very nice quality of alcohol ink in them. It's just the whole like filling in a large space, you have to wait for the ink to refill in the nib, and it's just weird, I guess, more than anything. So yeah, I got more of those. It's nice having a larger color selection of them, but I don't know why I got more. Like, I still enjoyed using them, and it was nice to have something that wasn't just like a pen, something that could actually fill in color in large spaces and be very vibrant and pretty. So yeah, that was probably the main thing I got. And as you can see, I got a lot of other very small things. Like, I got that really cute chocolate notebook, which is something that I have seen online for so insanely long, and I've always been like, I don't really have a need for it, so why would I buy a chocolate bar notebook, because I'm not going to use it for really anything. But I decided to get it, and it is so cute. There's so many things that StationeryPal has that are just so insanely cute on their website. They have such a nice selection of stickers, washi tape, a lot of desk accessories. I ended up getting more of those little plastic foldable cube kind of storage things because I figured those would be really nice to store products of mine in for my online store, so I can put washi tapes in them really easy, I can put acrylic charms in them, just that kind of stuff. And I'm very excited to set those up. But StationeryPal also has all kinds of things like this really cute cat washi tape dispenser, which I was so excited that they had this back in stock for this order because I really wanted it last time, but it was out of stock. It's definitely not the most functional thing in the world, but it is so insanely cute. So I'm very happy to have this sitting on my desk now. But yeah, StationeryPal just has such a wide selection of stationery items, and like I said before at the beginning of this video, it's just really exciting to shop for stationery items, and I could spend hours and hours doing that. I was just adding stuff to my cart and then taking it out of my cart and then maybe not buying anything at all. It's just really fun to peruse. I was really looking forward to receiving this box and actually working with the items that I ordered though, because I've still definitely been in not necessarily like an art block kind of mood, but more so a low motivation mood where I like think in my head like, yeah, I'd like to sit down and make art, but I never do it. So it's really nice getting these boxes. Like last time I ended up getting that box, it was just really fun to like super low pressure just sit down and play with a bunch of different art supplies in my sketchbook. I really enjoyed the process of working with the art supplies last time I received stuff from StationeryPal, so this was something that was very exciting for me, and I was really looking forward to swatching everything, especially all of the different pens that like I had never heard of before. I ended up getting some really thin Una Emmett, I think is what they're called, pens, which was just a really cute selection of pens. And then I also got like Monami is what I want to say the brand was, of little double-sided pens as well. And I was really, really excited to work with those just because the color palettes that those items came with were super, super cute. And I was really excited to try out just some different water-based markers. As far as actually working in my sketchbook with the supplies I got, as you can see, I started off on just a random page in my sketchbook that I had kind of already drawn stuff on. I recently got my first tattoo, which has been something that's been very exciting for me. I've always wanted to get a floral tattoo, and I ended up getting one that is peonies from Fruits Basket. So I've been really excited about future tattoos. As of right now, I'm thinking of doing a full sleeve of florals from like media. So I really want to get Wisteria tattooed on my arm from Demon Slayer, And then I also really, really want to get Solemn Blossoms from Final Fantasy 15, which is easily one of my favorite games. I absolutely adore Final Fantasy 15, so I just kind of want to fill up my left arm with just different kind of like shows or games or whatever it is, florals that have sentimental value to me. So I'm also kind of thinking of other tattoos I could get. So I just did a little doodle of like an underbust tattoo that features a grief seed from Madoka Magica, because Madoka Magica is one of my favorite animes. It's probably my second favorite. I adore that show. I adore the characters so much. Ugh, I love it. So that was what was on that page, and I wasn't super attached to it by any means, so I just decided to go ahead and kind of just write over everything I had already done on that page, which is totally fine. For what I wanted to do for actually swatching everything, I really liked how with my last StationeryPal box, I just kind of did a really cute little collage situation with my swatches where I did little doodles, I taped down things from the actual packaging of some of the art supplies. I really liked that kind of different tone for my sketchbook because I normally don't tape things in my sketchbooks, and I don't ever do any kind of like collagey things or I don't know, any kind of even remotely 3D things in my sketchbook. So it's just a little different like change of pace and a different kind of craft because I actually adore paper crafting. I find it so immensely fun. I burnt myself out on it because when my partner and I first started dating, I made him so many things with paper crafting. I made cards like every month for our month-iversaries, and for our 1-year anniversary, I made this really cute like exploding box, which is like a little paper box that you take the lid off of and then it falls back into the 4 pieces of like the sides of the box. Then it has a bunch of stuff on the inside, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed doing that. But definitely in the past probably like year or two, I've burnt myself out because I've always made him handmade cards and stuff for our birthdays, for Christmas, for anniversary, kind of just like all of those like major things. And I really haven't wanted to do that much lately. So this is a nice little in-between of like, it's not necessarily paper crafting, but it's just having fun and doing kind of like a similar thing. So I really enjoyed putting this page together. This one felt definitely more simple than the last one I did with my last StationeryPal box, but I really like the way it looks, and I think it's just a cute addition to a sketchbook because I never do anything like this. Also, I will say, using these art supplies in this specific sketchbook, definitely not the best move. This is an Arteza mixed media sketchbook. I honestly am not 100% sure which one it is because on their website it's just referred to as like a mixed media sketchbook. And also, I'm not even 100% sure if the sketchbook is even on their website anymore, but this sketchbook particularly, a lot of their like watercolor or mixed media sketchbooks almost have like a fabric-y feel to the paper itself. It's not because they're cotton paper, like cotton watercolor paper or anything like that. They just have a very like fabric-y kind of texture and feel to the surface of the paper where it's not smooth, which I do enjoy, but it's definitely not the kind of paper that works with really fine nibbed water-based pens specifically because they do not have super standard ink flow on this kind of textured paper. It makes them want to get like jammed with the ink, and they do not run super smoothly on this kind of paper. So I definitely used it anyways because I initially was thinking like, wow, like these pens aren't super great with the super fine nibs, but then I ended up using one on some of the notepads that I ended up getting, and I was like, oh, no, it's just the paper. So I thought about using like Bristol board paper because I did receive some with an upgrade box that I received like a month ago, something like that. My time perception is so bad, guys. I have no idea when anything has happened. But yeah, I have like a pad of Bristol board paper, and so I was thinking about using that. I also thought about using the watercolor paper that actually came in this box because I didn't really have any plans on using it for this video, and in the end I actually did not end up using the watercolor paper in this video, so I'll definitely be using it in the future. I'm not sure if it'll be on a video or not, but I will definitely be using that watercolor paper because I really like the texture of it, and it's always nice trying different kinds of watercolor paper. But yeah, this sketchbook really wasn't it for these pens, but I definitely forced them through it anyways. Like I said, I was thinking about using Bristol board paper, and then I kind of got a little bit lazy, and I wanted to have the actual drawings that I used the supplies for be next to the swatches, so She didn't my sketchbook, even though it was probably not the best option, but I actually really enjoyed playing with these art supplies. The actual variation of pens I ended up getting was such a nice combination with each other, especially the Monami pens. They are dual-sided water-based pens, so one side has a really soft chisel nib, and the other side has a fine point, I want to say. Yeah, it's a fine point. I really enjoyed working with those pens. I had no idea what to expect as far as the quality of those pens goes because I've never even heard of the brand. They're very much so more like a bullet journal-y kind of pen, less so than an actual art pen, but they're definitely multi-use because like for the longest time I had a really strong Zebra mild liner phase, which is Zebra's brand of pastel highlighters. They have such a gorgeous selection of those, and they're definitely, like, they're highlighters. They're definitely intended to be used with, like, classwork, bullet journaling, etc. But I love using those for actual drawing. It is so much fun. The colors are so pretty, and they're such cheap pens, and now they're really easy to get. I had to order them off of Jet Pens several years ago. This was a while ago, but, like, I remember the first time I saw them inside of a Walmart for sale, I was so excited because I'm like, oh my god, like that's so cool. And now Michaels has them open stock where you can buy individual colors, which is really awesome. We've gotten a lot of really nice imported pens and stuff within the past, I feel like 5 years, that are just available frequently and regularly in art supply stores, or even like Walmart is where I've seen Zebra mild liners before. But yeah, anything can be an art supply if you want it to be an art supply. So that's definitely the course I took with these pens. I really enjoyed using them, and a lot of the colors, especially in the pack that was the refresh pack, which came with like the yellows, the one green, and a couple of blues. The yellows were really light, so that made them really enjoyable to just sketch with and lay down a base sketch, and then if it was something that I wasn't the biggest fan of, it was super fine lines, it was very light in colors, so I was able to just kind of play with it and tweak it if I needed to. I really didn't have even a single plan when it came to actually finishing sketches or just sketching as a whole with these art supplies, so I was just kind of going at it and drawing whatever I want to and whatever came to mind. It's always really nice working with completely new art supplies, and especially when you have like such a nice selection of new art supplies. It's very satisfying to just swatch everything and then try playing with new things, and I don't know, it's just very nice to work with new items. I feel like that in of itself gives me a lot of motivation to actually create artwork, so this little sketchbook session was really nice in that sense because, like I said, I've been very not motivated to make art lately, so this was a nice breath of fresh air, as was my last StationeryPal video because same thing's been going on. So hopefully the goal is to not be doing that, especially because I don't know, I feel like I have so many videos I want to make, I just don't have the motivation to actually make them. For the longest time I've also really wanted to do a prompt video series where kind of like Inktober, which is what the initial idea came from, where I just make a prompt list of just words and make illustrations behind them, and ultimately I think it would be really fun to be able to do 7 videos and be able to post 1 video a day. So it would definitely be something that I'd have to do well in advance because there is no way ever that I'd ever be able to make a video start to finish in 1 day for 7 days straight, especially because I work in retail, so that's not a thing that could happen, but it's been something that I've wanted to do in terms of the little video series where I just make all these videos ahead of time and then post them 1 day every week for a week, because I just think that would be very fun. So there's many ideas I have for videos and just doing art stuff as a whole. I just have been especially unmotivated lately, so we'll see how that goes. I have, however, been super motivated to play Minecraft. Steven and I have been playing RLcraft, which is a super modded version of Minecraft, and it is essentially a very hard version of Minecraft. However, we've been playing it on the easiest difficulty, and we have keep inventory turned on, so that in of itself makes it immensely more manageable to actually play this version of it. It's very cool though, because the premise of it is to have a lot more real world things. However, at the same time, there's a lot of not real world things. There's dragons, and you can have pet dragons and all kinds of different summonable mounts, and I don't know, it adds so much to vanilla Minecraft, and I've never really played any kind of modded Minecraft before. I've started delving into texture packs and shaders for Minecraft, which just adds aesthetics to Minecraft, which is the superior way to play, without a doubt. Having texture packs and shaders on Minecraft make it so much more beautiful. But as far as like modded Minecraft goes, this is the first modded version of Minecraft I've ever played, and it has been so much fun. God, I love playing Minecraft, so I've been doing a lot of that lately. However, I recently also started replaying Final Fantasy 15, and I'm getting kind of burnt out on Minecraft, so I'm going to try and go through Final Fantasy 15 again, even though the story of that game is really sad and like a lot to take in. Like when I first started replaying it just like a couple of weeks ago, and just going through the first like 20 minutes of the game, I was really just like, dang, am I really emotionally ready to go through all of this again? Because it's a very beautiful, wonderful game, but the storyline is actually really, really sad. So, you know, it just takes a toll. That's a very fun game, so highly recommend. That was a little off topic, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like I mentioned before, if you're interested in anything from StationeryPal that was in this video, there will be links in the description box below for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching and all of your support on all of my videos and my channel as a whole. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.